Becky?
I was trying to go with the beat of the music, but I suck at that. So.
Okay. Good job. All right. I'm Donna. What's up? It's time for Matt Therapy.
What's happening?
What's going on? Becky's all by herself on this camera today. Say hi to her.
I have a whole camera to myself.
And then, as always, we've got the beautiful Lee on the ones and twos.
Hello, I had a little panic attack because I was focusing on some other things, and then as soon as the music started playing, I was like, "Oh shit, the music first, or the maraca first."
The baraka. Say it right.
I'm sorry, the baraka first. So I'm glad that I didn't mess it up.
Oof. You had a moment there.
In all the way from Santa Fe, New Mexico, our homie from 10th Planet Santa Fe, Nasty Nate Harris. What up, doggy?
Hi, guys.
What's going on? Thanks for hanging out with us today.
You're welcome.
Virtually hanging out with us.
Virtually. It's a virtual hangout.
It's a virtual hangout.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's 2016, so everything, it's not real unless it happens online.
That's a very good point, Nate. What's going on down in Santa Fe?
Oh, not a lot. Just got done teaching class. I was going to meet with D. Ruben Rivera and go over some drills and stuff, getting ready for EBI trials.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, that's right.
When are the next EBI trials?
January 22nd.
All right. Okay, so you know the drill. You know how we like to start off the show. Tell everybody at home how you got into jiu-jitsu and what your journey is up to this point.
Okay, well, I was born in 1947 to a
small farm.
Poor Korean family. I grew up a kung fu master, actually. Lots of kung fu. I prefer tiger style. That was kind of my area of expertise. And then, once the UFC started, I was like, oh, wow, this jiu-jitsu stuff might be kind of cool. So then, at the ripe old age of, what was that?
Do the math real quick.
46? Yeah.
I'm like, are you mocking us, Nate Harris?
What?
Damn it, this is a serious jiu-jitsu podcast, you motherfucker.
Okay, so my jiu-jitsu journey started kind of all by accident. I was living here in Santa Fe. I had lived here for a couple years by then. I was at work one day. I was working at a newspaper. Nothing special. I worked in the production side of it. I basically told Guatemalans how many papers to put in each person's car. Super glamorous job. I learned a lot of Spanish.
I was going to say, how high can you count in Spanish?
Pretty high. 100?
Nice.
That's not bad. I mean, if you can make it to 100, you can pretty much go all the way.
Not bad.
Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, up until you get into the thousands and shit.
That's mil, right?
It's just mil in front of everything else from before that you
Good
counted.
job, Lee. All right, so you're counting in Spanish.
I'm fairly decent at understanding Spanish. Anyway.
I feel a good translation coming sometime in the next hour.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's that?
I feel a good translation example coming in the next hour.
Sí. Más o menos. Yeah.
So learning Spanish with Guatemalans.
I was at work one night and I go outside to smoke a cigarette, and I'm standing up against the wall and I look over, I see my reflection, and I'm just fucking absolutely disgusted with what I see. I was super fat, out of shape, lived off fast food, smoked a pack a day, drank a lot.
Damn.
That old story. And my cousin's husband worked at this gym called Undisputed Fitness. And I was like, well, I need to fucking change this because this is disgusting. I can't live like this anymore. So I went into the gym and just started doing like a cardio boxing class. And they also did jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and MMA. They had fighters out of it, that whole bit. And so I'm just going to like this cardio class to stop being fat. And
what year was this, Nate?
What's that?
What year was this?
This was 2008.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to this class. I just don't want to be fat anymore. I quit smoking like that day. And then a couple months in, one of the fighters was like, dude, you should try jiu-jitsu. And I was like, no, man, I can't do that. Like, I'm not tough. I'm the chubby kid who makes jokes, I'm not a fighter or anything. He's like, dude, that's not what it is. Just try a class. I was like, all right, cool. So I went to that class, and I think we did either or both a back sweep from guard and or the electric chair. I remember the electric chair being one of the first things I learned. But, so we rolled. I went to that class, rolled a little bit. The fighter who told me to come to class was my drilling partner, and I remember at one point he looked up at Tate, and he's like, man, he could be really good. I was like, well, no, that's crazy. I've never been good at anything in my life. And then that night, I was at dinner with my cousin and her husband, and Tate Fletcher, who was my coach, texted my cousin and said, Nate did a really good job in class tonight. Really coordinated, good stuff. And I felt really good about myself, so I went back the next night. And it was really fun, so I just kept going back, and here I am a little over 8 years later.
Nice.
That's really cool. So Tate's kind of like your mentor.
Very much so, yeah.
That's cool. And so your journey, you're a brown belt now. So in 2008, you started your journey, and now you're teaching at Undisputed, and you're traveling and competing, and you're going to go teach in Austin.
Yeah, did a seminar in Tucson this past weekend. Jiu-jitsu, yeah, it's all still super fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I'm super grateful and just in awe of the life that jiu-jitsu's given me.
Why do you think jiu-jitsu is so powerful?
Fuck. That's hard to nail down. I would say number one of the main reasons is it's really good at giving you confidence, Mm-hmm. That was for me anyway, because it's jiu-jitsu really is for everyone, in a way. But anybody can start, and if they are able to get through kind of all of the mind fucks of it, of learning and getting tapped out and all that shit, then it can be really anything. So for me, it showed up in confidence. It's I didn't have confidence at all in my life, or purpose, or really anything. I say that I went into jiu-jitsu a completely blank slate. I had no reason for life, really. As kind of dramatic as that sounds, I had nothing. I woke up, I went to my pointless job, went to sleep, woke up, went to my pointless job, went to sleep. Yeah. I had no really reason for living or any passion or purpose.
There was nothing that excited you in life.
There was nothing that excited me except for watching movies, But as far as me doing something, yeah, there wasn't anything. And jiu-jitsu gave me that. Jiu-jitsu gave me purpose and confidence. It's funny.
And family.
When Renato Laranja came out here, we were all having breakfast and we were talking about jiu-jitsu, and Tate tells Renato, goes, yeah, I think Nate had taken about 3 jiu-jitsu classes before he started walking just a little bit differently.
I have a theory. I say this to a lot of people, even outside of jiu-jitsu, but obviously about jiu-jitsu is everybody should have something in their life that they love, that it literally exists only to bring you joy and happiness.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu brings all of us, and we all know because we do it, it brings you so much more. It brings you the confidence, and you get this cool community out of it. But unless we're fighters, and those of us who teach, it's our livelihood in a lot of ways, but jiu-jitsu for many of us exists purely for the joy and the happiness and the feeling that it gives us, and that's its whole purpose in our life. And I think that's a huge gift that I think maybe somebody takes it for granted, but I think many people in our sport don't. They get it.
Yeah.
That's why that shirt exists.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu saved my life.
Right.
People know.
For sure. I do believe that there are some of those people who were athletes all their lives, and they're like, oh, I just found a new sport.
Yeah.
Or the people who maybe grow up doing jiu-jitsu from the time they can walk. It's I think that they still appreciate it, but to the level of something saving your life, it's a different kind of appreciation, for those people, it's just life, It's they don't know what it's like without it. They didn't go through a change.
That's
if
true.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
I feel like there are, now that I'm thinking about it, I can think of people that I do think are just athletes and they just need something to go and do. And yeah, they love the sport, but it really is just, it's more of a...
Like another workout, another something to do.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
How has it, so you went from being, just hanging out Nate to jujitsu Nate, and now you're teacher Nate. How has that jump changed who you are and your jujitsu and changed your life? Because I personally know that teaching changes jujitsu for you just a little bit. I think it ups your game and it makes you better, but it also
absolutely.
There's something that it does to you. I'll let you answer that, and then I'll give you my 2 cents. But you tell me, what has teaching done for you as far as your jujitsu and as who you are as a person?
So even just jujitsu, like, and even everything in the world, like, you will be made better. The best way to get really fucking good is to teach it.
Yeah.
And so, like, for me, like, I was never an athlete growing up per se, but I think a lot of that is because I never wanted to be and I never tried. So there are, like, I do have a little bit of, like, that natural athleticism. And so, like, if I'm in a role, there are oftentimes, like, where I pull stuff off and I have no idea how I did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, where we get done and I'm like, fuck, I have to backtrack those steps and figure out how I did that, And so, like, before teaching, I could rely on that. But then once I go to teach, if I go to teach that, well, fuck, I can't just say, well, no, just feel it. You know what I mean? Like, I have to walk you through step by step by step. And so when you're teaching somebody who knows nothing how to do something, you are hitting every single minute detail that you otherwise might not think about.
You'd skip over. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, well, I have the body sensitivity. I can feel it. So, I'm using that. But when you teach somebody, you're like, okay, now you're going to put your hand here. Now you have to put it here. Now you need to move your hips this way. Now you have to put your foot here, And so, like, when I teach the same thing Monday through Friday. Oftentimes, because of people's schedules and some people coming only 2 or 3 days a week, the class is the exact same every day, sometimes. And so the way I teach it on Friday is way different than how I teach it on Monday, in that there are details that I didn't notice on Monday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Nate, this is Lee. I get to
in
go.
In case you didn't know that was Lee. You thought you thought it was me or Becky.
In case you didn't know.
Is this Becky or is this Lee? You guys sound exactly the same.
Becky has a little bit of a cold. Hey, I have a beautiful voice.
You do.
He can't see me. I get to go with Joey a lot. Not a lot, but I get to see his shows. And it's funny, similar to what you just said, after like a weekend at the same club, even though his jokes change a little bit, when you get to see someone multiple times in a short period, you can see the growth just from them doing it a few times and going from, I haven't done, maybe it's for you, I haven't done this move in a few months, so Monday it's a little bit rusty, and then by Friday you've
cleaned it up and you polished it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you get to see the mistakes that other people make.
Right.
That you might not think about.
Sure.
Or it's like, I wouldn't even
I wouldn't have tried that, but they did, and that's
Yeah, you find the little nuances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing the problems that arise for other people. It's like, because everybody has a different body type and everybody has different levels of athleticism and flexibility and this and that. So to see all the problems arise for each different person then helps you look at that move that much more intimately.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, when I first started teaching, I would teach. Back then, we did like an intro class, and it was the same thing. Like, we're going to teach an arm drag to the back, and then take him down, finish through a naked choke. And so I was teaching that Monday through Friday for God knows how long. And ever since then, arm drags have been my shit. It's like after
you could probably arm drag somebody in your sleep.
What's that?
You could probably arm drag somebody in your sleep after you teach it much.
Yep. When you go over the tiniest little details of the move, it's just ingrained in you, and you hit that fucking nonstop. And it's like, it also makes you almost impervious to it also. It's like, if I'm that good at an arm drag, fair bet that I'm almost never going to get arm dragged. You know?
That's completely fair. What I was saying earlier is there's something incredibly, I guess, satisfying might be the word, in teaching somebody something, and the moment that you see them get it. Not just get it, but do it well.
Right.
And there's like this.
Like I'm sure watching your kids in a tournament or something,
and
like,
oh man,
we were teaching that last week, and they just pulled it off.
I coached a kid in a tournament this week, and I mean, we have some killers, some little killers at our school, and they're so awesome, and they work so hard. But this little kid, he's kind of quiet, and of the bigger kids, he's the smallest of the bigger kids.
Right.
And he's also pretty quiet. I wouldn't say shy, just he's a reserved kid.
Sure.
And he kicked ass in his tournament. He was sprawling, and he was going for arm bars, and he was going for guillotines, and he pulled this kid out into a guillotine, and the kid flipped over, and then he did like an inverted and went to the mounted guillotine, and I lost my mind. It was the coolest thing to see this kid come alive, and it's an emotional thing that is so much different than even doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Watching somebody that you've taught,
like you've imparted wisdom, and it's actually working.
It's so cool to watch that. Do you get that same emotional
satisfaction?
Yeah, satisfaction in watching your students, Nate?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Watching them pull something off, it's like, it's such pride.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even know how to put it in any other way other than like fucking just happy for you,
Totally.
Like,
I think you have to feel that as a teacher. If you're if you're a teacher and you're not feeling that, I feel like you shouldn't be teaching then.
Jennifer Escobar does that. Is that for me also? So you know who Jennifer Escobar is? She trains with us at HQ. For everybody who doesn't know, she is a beast. And
she is.
I was lucky enough when she first started training. Eddie got her in touch with me, and I started giving her private lessons. So I taught her base of jujitsu.
Yeah.
And then she turned around and started tapping me out. And every time she does it, I have the equal parts like, God fucking damn it! And also like this, like, yay! Look at this beast I created.
Yeah. No, I feel that like when whenever I'm rolling with one of our guys and like they get me like in a deep leg lock, I'm like, that was fucking awesome. Like,
but don't ever do that to me again.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens so much.
I was like, dude, I was really like, I was worried for a while there. Like that was deep. Like, good fucking job.
Yeah.
And everybody knows like whenever you tap a higher belt, and they're like super proud. They're like, wow, good job. But then the next roll is a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I won't tell his name. If he ever comes on the show, maybe I'll bring it up. But right before this guy got his black belt, we started rolling, and obviously he was taking me very lightly and not seriously at all. And I caught him in. So the Japanese necktie is my thing. It's one of my favorite things to go for. I love it. And I caught him, and I tapped him out, and he sat up and he looked at me, and he was like, good job. You caught, like, that was legit. You caught me. And then he proceeded to just whoop my ass for like the next 7 minutes. Like, hey, good job. You did totally catch me, and now I'm going to punish you for it.
Yeah. I remember one time rolling with Tate. Not that I've ever come even somewhat close to besting Tate at all, ever. But Tate's shit is triangles.
Uh-huh. You don't usually hear that for big guys. Tate's a big dude.
He's very big. But his shit has always been triangles, and like especially just the pop triangle.
Okay.
Right? Where he pushes and pulls your arms and throws his hips up. And
I
he
don't
would
have
do
the
that
coordination
to us
for that.
constantly. And there was one time I was in his guard, he went to do that, and I really quick got my hand back in. And I kind of see this look on his face, and so he does it again, and this time I timed it just right. So as he pushed that arm through, I shucked his legs off and kind of ended up in side control.
Oh, you got the double underpass.
Well, not even that. It was just like a shuck over. Like I just threw his leg off of me, and like his eyes got big. He goes, "Good job," and then jumps up to his feet.
I just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You got to take the small victories.
That was just successfully defending an attempt.
Hey, you have to take those small victories. I tell when I talk to the white belts, and obviously we have a bunch of killers at HQ, and when people come to visit us, it's like game on. There's never a role at HQ, at least for me, that is not a fight for my life. Because even if it's somebody visiting, like they got something to prove, they're here, that Eddie might be watching. So, especially in talking to a lot of women, and I think we've probably talked about this before, is you have to take those small victories and you have to own them.
Yeah.
When I was a white belt, and if I could make it through an entire roll with a blue belt and, a purple belt, and you didn't tap me out, like I got to defend the whole time,
me.
I win. In my head, I was like, that was a successful roll for me.
Yeah.
Even if I never even got to attempt a submission. So, I think, Nate... Tate is a giant. He's a flipping giant. So I would take that as a small, tiny victory for sure.
Fuck that. Take that as a victory.
Yeah.
Not fuck a small, tiny victory. That is a victory with that
Anytime I
man.
can defend against a black belt, I'm like, badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I know what you mean, Donna. Like when Ruben and I go to headquarters, we talk about that because Eddie handpicks our roles for us.
Yep.
There's never a
There's
hey,
no time to breathe.
Yeah. You want to flow?
Eddie's okay, these guys are running a school under my name. I want to test them and see what they're made out of. So it's there are definitely no easy roles.
For sure. And
we're
who
the firing squad.
And we're who people get tested against, so we can't make ourselves look bad. And for sure.
Oh yeah, that's all the time though. Like if somebody else comes into your school, you're like, well, this is my home. I have to show you what we're about.
Or do you feel
I
like
have
this
to
when
defend
you,
it.
Becky, when you go travel? It's not just when somebody comes to visit you. It's like, oh, I train under Eddie Bravo. I'm from HQ.
Yeah,
you have to show up every time you roll.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I went to Miami a month after getting my purple belt. Visited 3 schools. Yeah.
And you had to roll with a lot of black belts when you were down there, didn't you? Yeah. Nice.
Not a single girl. Have I said that before? Yeah. Not a single girl.
Well,
fucking got demolished down there.
I think it is a huge compliment, and I say this all the time. I had a guy come up to me a couple weeks ago, and he was like, hey, is it okay that I don't go easy on you? And I was like, don't you ever go easy on me. Don't you ever give me anything. I would take it as a complete insult.
Yeah.
If you didn't roll with me and treat me like an equal, I don't need you to go light on me. I wouldn't be doing this if I
need
did.
you to not hurt me.
Yeah.
But
so
I need you to not. Yeah.
take it as a huge compliment when I can tell guys are not taking it easy on me. I don't want you to. I mean, if you weigh 200 pounds, maybe not kill me. But
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me.
But I certainly don't want anybody treating me like I'm a delicate flower that can't,
There is a careful balance in there, too, though. It's like there's a big difference between not taking it easy and not treating you like a delicate flower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if I roll, there's been, I don't know, it's hard to say. Because, a lot of people will say, if I go hard, I'm like, you don't know what my heart is.
Right.
That's, there's very, very few people who've ever felt me go really 100%.
Oh my God, you're
so it's like,
strong.
It's not to say that I'm taking you lightly, but I know myself and what I would do if I went 100% on you.
Well, there's competition mode and there's rolling in class mode.
Sure.
There's obviously those are two different things. You don't expect someone who's a professional fighter to go fight mode when you're training. Right. But damn it if you fucking let me pass your guard because you think that you need to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never give anybody anything for free. That's for sure.
Well, and
unless
obviously
they're brand new white belts. I'm
of course.
I'm not going to smash you. But you're also I'm not just gonna give you free shit.
Yeah, you got to make everybody earn.
You have to work for it.
For sure.
Because that's when I was a white belt and blue belt and rolling with Tate, if I got swept and it was a dumb sweep, he would look at me and go, for free to sweep you. I'm like, oh. He's like, fucking go back.
Yeah.
It's that was always in my head. So now when I roll, I'm like, if I do the same thing, if somebody makes a mistake and I sweep them, I'm like, for free I get to sweep you.
Nice.
So adversely, if you want position, you better work for it. Again, I'm not gonna go competition mode on the students and fucking not let you do shit ever. I'm gonna allow you to work,
right?
But you also don't get anything for free. You have to feel what it's like to earn something.
Absolutely. And there's even I prefer when I have to have a male training partner. My preference would be that they are under 150 pounds because then I feel like even though guys do have more physical strength. That's a physiological fact.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm rolling with somebody, even 145 pounds and under, I feel like they don't have to hold back their strength on me. And that's, I appreciate that. Obviously, when I'm going with a 165-pound guy, like the other day I was rolling with Daniel Rodriguez, who's a professional fighter. He has a fight in Bellator coming up in January. And I call him a baby gorilla. He's just fucking giant. And he couldn't, Matt Spencer, his coach, would not let him use any strength on me. And you can tell when somebody's just like, oh, here, I'm just going to not break you in half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could out technique him, but I certainly, if he decided to even apply any pressure on me, I would have been dead.
Yeah, your 100% to him is probably about 45%.
I was struggling. I was like, ah! And I got him in an inverted triangle, and I was like holding on for dear life, like, and he was just like, okay, can I
He's like yawning, taking a sip of water over here.
Yeah. Whenever I roll with Gabby Romero, who just went against
dude, she's so strong.
Yeah. When I roll with Gabby, I roll with her.
You give her 100%, right? Ish, for the most part.
I don't hold back at all.
Yeah, you don't have to. She's man.
No, she's strong as fuck.
She is. I've never actually met somebody her same size that is as strong as her. Sorry.
I'll muscle her. I'll use my strength, and I'll tell her, I'm like, I respect you too much not to. I respect your game and your fucking strength. Like, she's got legit jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I've seen her tap out a 190-pound black belt. Man.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. Oh, look at Gabby Bella. Gabby Bella's tapped out a 200-pound woman before.
Really?
Oh, yeah, when she was a teenager. It was amazing.
God damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
She took the video down because she's a pro fighter. I'm sorry, Gabby, if you didn't want anybody. She took the video down.
Well, nobody knows. I mean, aside from...
It happened, but...
Why?
I don't think she took a whole bunch of her competition videos down when she started competing. I think it was there weren't a lot of videos up of her, or there were a lot of videos. I can't remember her reasoning, but she was like, I took all my videos down because...
Oh, she didn't want people to do research on it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So sorry if you
didn't give away any techniques.
What are you guys' thoughts on that?
On what?
On like taking down your videos, like if you're competing, letting people see your shit. I have mixed feelings.
I think that it kind of depends on who you are. I think if you're at the level, let's say you're a UFC fighter,
your videos are fucking out there. There's nothing
to hide at that point. Everything's readily available. You
have a say in the matter. Like, would you take your videos down?
It would probably
Ruben
depend
and I talked
on...
about this before, and I'm like, on one hand, yeah, like I can see the value of taking him down and my opponent not knowing what to expect, but at the same time, I'm like, you can know exactly what I'm gonna do. Good luck stopping it anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd rather be on that frame of thought. I'd rather work myself to a point of like, fine, know what I like to do. I'm still going to try. I'm still going to do it. And hopefully,
sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
no. I think it just kind of depends on, and maybe it's where your mindset's at. I think that they're both legitimate mindsets to be in. I like the idea of you going, you know what I'm going to do and you're not going to be able to stop me. But there's also the element, like, let's say, I mean, you're a brown belt, Nate. So if you're fighting another brown belt or even a black belt, it's not like you're going to be able to surprise anybody with like this new, fancy technique that nobody's ever heard of at this point. You know what I mean? But there is something to say, like, if you have a style that is really specific to you, and a lot of 10th Planet guys do have a very specific style, or let's say the Danaher Death Squad, we all know they're going after ankles, but let's say they've really been working on some nuances of angles, and you know what I mean? I can see that. I can see the wisdom in going, yeah, I'm going for an ankle, but why am I going to give you all of the roadmap?
Yeah,
and they're defending me,
and you don't see them putting out any like technique videos or any like
but
videos
even watching
from class.
Somebody in competition, like let's say you watch somebody and there happens to be two different camera angles, but then let's say you're having two super high level guys go up against each other. Mm-hmm. The ability to watch those small nuances could change the defense or the offense of your opponent.
Right,
and I can see I can see somebody going, look, there's $20,000 on the line. I don't want my opponent seeing these very small details about what I'm supposed to do. On the other hand, if you're a purple belt and we all know that you're going to arm drag to the back to the rear naked choke, there's no point in taking down your videos because that's not the nuance. There's nothing to miss in the nuances there.
Yeah. I mean,
right. And I always used like the Ronda Rousey reasoning of like, everybody knows Ronda's going to armbar you.
Right.
And they spend their entire camp defending arm bars, but they're not defending them against Ronda.
Exactly.
Right.
Different. It's like, yeah, you can have your training partners watch my video, like, okay, they like to do this, he likes to do this, and mimic that. But it's way different against somebody who's put in so many numbers. Like, if that is somebody's shit,
yeah,
it's like, oh, my shit is an arm drag to the back, and I've done it so much that I do it to everybody. It's way different having your teammates try to mimic that than feeling it myself.
100%.
Me is in general, not me specifically.
Yeah.
And not to mention everything else that comes with being in, whether it's a tournament or whatever it is, a super fight. Yeah. Like you've got all, the crowd, the nerves, the adrenaline, everything else that's going to affect all of that.
For sure.
So,
like I said, I see the wisdom in both. I see the mindset, like, I don't give a shit if you know what I'm going to do. But I also see the strategy and the technique and saying, I'm not going to give you everything. But again, like, sometimes you can. We've all seen Eddie go to the truck a bazillion times. Good luck stopping him unless you're at a super high level.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know exactly what he's going to do because he'll teach it to you.
Right.
And then he'll still do it to you.
I kind of want, like, I would prefer to be on that mindset. Like like you said, Dana Her Death Squad, they're going after your legs.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. All of their videos are they're accessible somewhere because they've all been filmed and streamed and done. They've all been aired live. Like they're not going anywhere.
I think
so
that
we
is
can study those tapes all we want.
Yeah.
Chances are, still gonna get fucking caught in
well, I
of their
think
heel
that's
hooks.
the attitude of 99% of people out there. I mean, at the high levels, can we all not see what Gio Martinez has done in a million videos? Can we all not see Gordon Ryan? a million videos of Gordon Ryan. So I think that the doing that is maybe less and less, and maybe somebody, for example, like Gabby Bella, who is just entering the beginning of her career, and she has this amazing catalog of jiu-jitsu competitions behind her.
Yeah.
I see the wisdom in saying, look, I'm new to MMA. I'm not new to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So let me go ahead and take all of this catalog down as I'm building my jiu-jitsu career. Sure. It's different when you're Gio Martinez.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I think there could also be the quality of your videos. You're like, I think
I
there
don't know
could be
if that has anything to do.
You don't think so? Like, I sucked as a white belt. I don't really want these videos out there so much.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the actual the video quality.
No. I'm just saying like
the angles were all bad.
No, just like your
this one, so I'm gonna take it down.
Yeah, like your technique and stuff. You're like, as a white and blue belt, you're like, there's so many more videos that I can put up that I don't need these.
I could see that, but I mean, we are specifically talking about Gabby, and I noticed right before her pro fight started.
Yeah.
Her pro fight started. That's when she took down all her. She had hundreds of videos. Maybe not hundreds, but tons of videos.
Right.
Yeah.
And she took them all down.
Did Gabby fight recently, or was this long?
No, this was like I feel like a year ago that maybe I sent her a message. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a competition you did, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I took them all down. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely hate going back and watching old competition footage of myself. I'm like, fuck, that was dumb. Why would I do that?
Right.
For sure.
Like,
nobody likes to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
My first competition video, and I don't have a lot. I know I need to start competing more. Is hilarious. Like I watch it and I'm like, oh my god, who is this girl?
Yeah.
I watched my first competition video like a million times.
Absolute though, without a doubt, hands down, the worst competition video of mine that I have no say of whether or not it stays up on the internet though. Is my post-fight interview with Donna Gonzalez after my UFC.
You know what's funny? You sent me that picture, and I do not remember interview. I remember almost all of my post-fight interviews. I don't remember interviewing.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was the first combat jiu-jitsu.
Glad to know I'm memorable.
No, it was the first. You think I would because it was the first combat jiu-jitsu. I remember it was the second. Okay, so I remember Eric Campella doing his first one.
Yeah.
But I honestly, you sent me that picture. I was like, oh, that's me.
Well, you know what was funny is that like I remember the interview vividly because of how fucking retarded I was. But I don't remember it being you until I saw, like, I don't know what, 2 or 3 years later after we were friends.
Yeah.
And I saw you post a picture interviewing somebody at the U of MA. I'm like, oh, is Donna the commentator there? Is she the interviewer?
Yep.
Like, wait, did Donna interview me? So I had to go back and watch the video. I'm like, holy shit, that was Donna.
Was that back when I only had my one question for the longest time? They were like, you have to stop saying that. Because I'd be like, was that the game plan? That was the game plan?
I don't remember being asked that.
They're like, change it up a little.
They were like, think of something else to say. I'm like, okay.
You could be asking for the same phrase, just word it different.
I actually some people that used to always come to the fights again. So the U of MMA, just for everybody who doesn't know, it's an amateur fighting organization, and they are very concerned with production and making it a very professional environment to help train fighters to get interviewed, to have cool walkouts
for what the professional world is like.
It's the U of MMA. It's like training fighters to be professional. And
U means university for everyone out there.
But also the same for the commentators.
I get it now.
But the point was, it's also the same for the commentators. There were several of us that want to become commentators, and they were like, okay, cool, let's teach you how to be commentators.
For everyone,
all of us.
Everyone involved.
And so I sucked. Like, they were like, we love you, Donna, so we're gonna stick by you while you learn this shit.
We're gonna give you more chances.
And so it was a learning process for me. But one of my very first interviews at U of MMA was Ronda Rousey, and she scared the shit out of me. Yeah, because it was after she scared the shit out of me. It was right after she fought in Strikeforce, I think, for the first time. And she got her opponent in an armbar, and she didn't tap. I think it was was it Marlos Conan? I can't remember who she fought, but her opponent didn't tap, and so Ronda broke her arm.
As would happen, yes.
And I asked her about it, and I couldn't remember her opponent's name. And Ronda, for anybody who's ever met her, knows seen her. She's kind of intense and scary, and so I'm asking her. And she's a lot bigger than me. So we're in the cage, and I have the mic in her hand, and I'm like, what happened in your last fight? Because I noticed that your opponent didn't tap or anything. And she's like, yeah. And she's just like staring at me, and I was like, okay, thanks. Ronda Rousey, everybody.
I guess maybe because it was like an interview process, like a on-screen thing, she was being more intense. Because, like, I don't remember her being that.
Maybe.
I mean, there's the intimidation factor because, like, okay, you're kind of a star now. Well, especially, I mean, back then she wasn't quite as big of a star.
But she was definitely on her rise.
Yeah, she was on her rise, but she was always very, like, I don't know. She was always very nice and down to earth.
But
there was no cameras on her. I think the camera thing maybe changes things.
And she definitely commands a presence.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, you don't look at Ronda when you meet her and go, huh, I wonder if she's kind of a badass. Like, you're like, oh.
Yep, badass.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with her.
Because she's lived her whole life to be that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
I see nothing wrong with it. I like strong women. I think it's awesome.
I'm not opposed to it at all. Well, what I thought was really funny, well, I don't think it was funny. The thing with my interview with you is your first question, I didn't hear it.
So did you just, like, answer some arbitrary, like...
Yeah, so in my head, I even thought, fuck, what did she say? Well, I can't possibly ask her to repeat the question. That would be dumb. Like,
so I'm just going to
answer what I think it was.
It was probably how are you feeling?
Like, no, awesome. Totally.
So, going back and listening to it, I'm guessing you heard her question then. Did it tie in at all? The answer?
I haven't gone back and listened to it.
I'm pretty sure I asked you how you're feeling. I ask everybody how they're feeling.
Oh, yeah, that was maybe it. Something like that. I don't know. So, and then you asked me if I'd be back at the U of MMA, and I was like, I don't know. Sure, maybe.
That's how a lot of guys answer, and I'm always like, yeah, awesome. Well, thanks.
Yeah. Also, I had no idea that was going to happen. And so, like, I was so fucking high on adrenaline because I won. Yeah. There was the crowd. There was Tay and Eddie in the cage with me.
There's a gold belt.
Yeah. I got the gold belt in the mail. actually.
Oh. What?
And so
Eddie
I
didn't
was
have it.
almost out of the cage, and Donna grabbed me and said, "Interview," or I don't know what she said. She just grabbed me.
I said,
like,
Nate
pulled me
Harris,
back.
come talk to me. That's what I say.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, what? Huh? Fuck." Yeah.
Fuck, I have to talk to people now.
My backstage interview I thought was pretty great.
That wasn't me, though.
It wasn't you. And then I was like, well, where's that one? That I never saw. It never surfaced. And I was like, that was definitely the better of the interviews.
What did they do with those? I'll have to find out where that is, see if I can find some tape for you. I don't know.
Well, what's funny about that, though, is so at the time, I have a fake tooth, right?
Okay.
And at the time, it was coming in and out.
What?
Because it got punched out in preparation for that fight.
That makes sense.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it fell out.
So, yeah,
Would you
it's not
just, like,
supposed to come in and
pick-
out. It's supposed to be fixated.
So did you
But it
keep
got-
your mouthpiece in?
Yeah, so
And
I
there's
was...
That's
I
his ear.
took the tooth out for the fight and was wearing just my mouthpiece.
Oh, you literally can, like, just say, like, I'm going to take this tooth out for today. I don't feel
Yes.
like wearing it today.
Correct.
Okay. Your
and
ear
so I
looks
just-
lovely, by the way.
What?
Your ear looks lovely, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry, I was plugging my phone in. It was too loud out there, so I'm coming into the our little office kitchen. So I'd taken my tooth out, which is that one, by the way.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And I walk backstage. I get checked out by the medic, and they're like, "Okay, come over here for an interview." I was like, "All right," and she puts me on like the right side, and I stop her. I'm like, "Hey, do you mind if we switch places? Because I didn't get a chance to put my tooth back in, and I don't want that on camera." And she was like, "Yeah, no, absolutely, that's fine." I was like, "Okay, cool."
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's great.
I got it knocked out when I was 18. Didn't get it fixed till I was 25. So it was 7 years of going like this. Like,
Wow.
I got my tooth knocked out in a bar fight.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
really?
It wasn't really a legit bar fight. Let me rewind. I was at a bar, and this is
Someone
gonna,
was turning around and I ate an elbow, that's all.
No. This is gonna shock many of you, but I'm kind of mouthy.
No.
No.
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
No way.
Shocking. Anyway, I was at a bar, and some guy was being a dick, and so I started talking shit to him, and he was not.
That doesn't happen at a bar.
He was not a small dude, so I don't know.
But Donna was like, "Fuck it, I could take him
so
on
I
anyway."
was I didn't.
Sounds like really smart decisions. on
Yeah,
your
I
part.
wasn't exactly trying to fight him, but I just wasn't holding back on what I was saying to him. And he followed me and my friend out of the bar, and we were getting in her car, and I was driving. And as we're leaving, his friends they drove in front of the car. I was making a U-turn, and they trapped us on this cul-de-sac.
That's nice.
And the guy got out, and he tried to reach in and take my friend's keys out of the ignition. So I grabbed his hand. This was before I knew how to defend myself or anything. So I grabbed his hands, and he reached back and he cracked me. And I never felt anything, but I remember going like this, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And my tooth was facing.
Oh no!
It was gone. And so that was like his friends all freaked out. They were like, "Why did you punch her?" Like everybody freaked out, and he ran back into the car, and they took off, and we tried to write their license plate down, and we got it wrong because I was freaking out. And
adrenaline.
yeah, and and I too have a fake tooth. So yeah,
Which one is yours?
Yeah, which one's
front
yours?
actually the two front teeth, because my dad's a dental technician, and he
that
made
worked out
me.
well.
Yeah, he made me teeth. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
Not really. I mean, I hate it. I had pretty teeth that I wore braces for a long time. I was really upset about
One
that.
punch, this motherfucker
Yeah.
fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that blows my mind about how mine happened is that one tooth was actually, I didn't have braces. So that one tooth was actually kind of just behind the one on either side of it, just a little bit. And mine got knocked out with a boot. Like I took
What?
a kick to the face. Yeah.
With a boot, were you in a fight?
Well, it wasn't a fight so much as me not being able to defend myself because I drank 2 bottles of vodka.
There you go.
Yeah, something
Understandable.
to that effect. I mean, so I can tell you the whole story from the beginning.
Please. We have this whole format for it where you could tell stories.
Oh, wow. Funny how that works. All right, so I was at a house party. We were taking shot after shot. I think I drank
Of vodka?
That's disgusting. Who does that?
of all kinds of things.
All right.
So I'm from Nebraska, small town in Nebraska. So there's not much to do there other than
Literally,
drink a lot.
how many people were in that town? You told me before.
That town was 10,000. The town I grew up
There
in
was another one that was 200.
You grew up with
200.
200
people?
fucking people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Here's a fun fact. You know Micah Miller?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's from like the
Her-
town over from you or something, right?
Yeah. We're
Wow.
from she's from the town over where I grew up in.
That's
Or
so
where
crazy.
I'm from.
Imagine 200 people. It's like growing up at our gym, like with those people, like
Yeah,
just
totally.
with that amount of people.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
But yeah,
Anyway,
so
go ahead.
we are we're at a party taking tons of shots. We go to a different house party. I black out. I don't remember anything from that point on. I wake up the next day. My alarm goes off. I get up to get ready for work. I realize that my face hurts a little bit. I walk into the bathroom and there's a washcloth there that I don't recognize, soaked in blood. And then I look in the mirror and I smile. Or no. First, I'm laying in bed. I wake up and I feel around my mouth with my tongue. And I'm like,
Oh, that doesn't feel
What
right.
the-
Weird.
I'm like, where is my tooth? What the fuck happened? And then I get up, I go to the bathroom, I see the washcloth. I had a hole going straight through my lip. And I was
Nice.
like, okay, that's not cool. I go to work. I get to work and somebody's like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? And I go, I have no idea. Like, I don't remember it at all. The last thing I remember is being at this other house, drinking a lot, and then waking up just now.
What?
Yeah. And then I placed some phone calls. I had to lie to my dad because I didn't know what happened. He's like,
Is it a lie then if you really don't know what
Yeah,
happened?
it's not really.
It's not
Well,
really
wait,
a lie.
What was the lie that you told?
I mean,
I
it's
think I told
definitely
him, like, I tripped going
making something
upstairs.
up.
Okay. Well, he did.
Yeah.
He
It's
made
definitely-
something
in my
up.
I thought that's what happened. Like, for some reason, I remembered walking upstairs, tripping, and like face planting.
I did that once.
I don't know where I got that.
I had to get stitches.
But no. So then I placed some phone calls, and finally, I get a hold of one of the girls I was with. I was like, oh yeah, you got jumped by a couple guys. Because they thought you were Mexican or something. Like, I was.
Wow.
Because
I
that's
was
what
just
you do to Mexicans.
Because Nebraska.
What?
Because that's
Well,
what you do to
it was-
Mexicans.
No, because
Well-
Nebraska.
This was in Nebraska, and it was actually we went to some Native Americans' houses, and those guys just looked over at me. I was just standing there, like, too drunk to do anything, so I was just like pretty much standing comatose. And the one dude says to the other guy, "Hey, that vato over there," runs up, punches me, kicks me in the face a few times, knocks my tooth out. And then a couple girls came up and pushed him off, and
Wow.
Saved by
yeah.
the girls.
I somehow I got a hold of somebody's cell phone because I didn't have one. I called
Again, because
another
Nebraska.
girl who was friends with one of the girls I was with, and I said, I call her, and I was like, hey, you need to come pick up your friend because she's super drunk. Like, she's way too drunk. And she
Wait.
goes, okay, well, where are you? I'm like, I have no idea. She goes, well, how am I supposed to come pick her up if you don't know where you are? I'm like, I don't know. I somehow figured out how to tell her where we were. So she's coming to pick up her friend. I didn't say anything about me getting jumped. I guess I didn't even remember at that point. So I get in the car. She looks over at me, sees me just covered in blood. Goes, holy shit, what the fuck happened to you? And I go, I don't remember. I think I fell up some stairs or something.
Did
So then
you
she
remember
takes
at
me
this
home.
point?
What's that?
Did
No,
you
he said
remember
he
at
did.
this point? So you're
No, I
blacked
didn't.
out. You're blacked out calling somebody saying your friend's too drunk, come get her?
Yes.
All right.
That was the story that was recanted to me. So then that girl takes me to her apartment, gets me kind of cleaned up, takes me home. I do think that it's impressive that I was able to go home, take out my contacts, set my alarm for work, wake up for work on time, get dressed, go to work.
I'm impressed.
That is, yeah.
Right after I got my tooth knocked out.
Jeez.
But
Anyway,
you're 18, right? You said?
I was 18, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, that's why. Try doing that now.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
I've
saying
tried-
if you,
right.
I'm just saying, if you still drank, you would not be
Yeah.
able to pull that off now.
All right, now
No.
back to jujitsu. Now that we've all told the
I had
dumb
a few-
stories.
I went to my cousin's house on, was it Saturday night, and I had a few drinks. Fucking hell! It wasn't until Monday that I was like, okay, I kind of feel normal again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's
I know, you
it's
can't
just
drink
not
like
the
you-
same.
You can't drink like you used to.
No,
No.
I don't try to drink like I used to, but a couple drinks again.
Yeah.
Will get me to a
Me
point
too.
where I'm just like, I can't function today. I just fuck this.
Yeah.
Fuck everything.
I'm with you.
Anyway.
So back to jujitsu. Nate,
okay.
what's coming up next? What's going on? What you doing? What's up?
Nate also does stunt work. Tell us about that too.
So that is pretty cool. I just worked on a couple different movies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I don't know how much I'm at liberty to discuss. I think it's fine. I just worked for a couple weeks on a movie called Soldado, which, fun fact, is Spanish for passion fruit. According to what I told one of the extras.
I knew there was going to be a translation at some point in this.
Yeah. So me, myself, Ruben's brother Robert, we all worked on that for a couple weeks.
Is this where you were dressed like Aladdin?
No, that's
Oh.
for a movie called Cliffs of Freedom.
Oh.
Yeah. I got to play an 1800s Turkish soldier. There's a lot of whitewashing going on.
He looked like Aladdin.
Yeah.
I know. I shared an article about Hollywood whitewashing and how shitty it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then realized that I play a lot of other races. So
Oh yeah, it's yeah. I'm a part of a lot of Hispanic online groups for actors, and it's conversation that happens all the time. People get cast in roles that are clearly for Hispanic people, and they're white or they're Asian. That's huge. Is that white people are playing a lot of Asians lately, and you're like, why? It's not like there's
Yeah.
no people of these race readily available to you
Right.
for casting. Like,
Yeah.
we'd all love to come in and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one.
For stunts, it's like a little bit different because it's not a character. You're just a guy
Right.
dying in the background. You know.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
it makes
you're a
sense
guy
for
falling
stunts,
down.
especially because it's a specialized thing. You need somebody who's capable of, doing a specific stunt. A lot of times, that's when it gets narrowed down. That makes sense. In an acting role where you're talking and people are seeing you, that's when it doesn't make sense to, I don't know, perhaps cast a Filipino as a Mexican-American Indian in a movie or something like that. I'm talking about Young Guns, in case anybody from the 80s is wondering.
Who was that?
It was Lou Diamond Phillips, who did a fine job as an actor, but he's Filipino,
Filipino?
and he played a Mexican-American, he was half Mexican and half Indian, half Native
Yeah.
American, and you're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You don't think you could have found anybody else for this movie that was perhaps maybe even Mexican?
He was a name at the time, though.
He
wasn't
was a name, and I get it, but I mean, seriously, he
Yeah.
was playing.
Well, that's
that's the
Lou
whole
Diamond
thing.
Phillips'
All of
entire career.
correct,
Is Mexican.
And but that's what I'm saying. It's not like you couldn't go find other. You could have called Isai Morales back in the 80s, who still had a name, and he
yeah.
could have
Who?
played Isai Morales. He's Puerto Rican, but he's all, you know what I mean?
At least he's
Do
Latin.
you know Tommy Rosales?
Do I know Tommy Rosales? I don't think I do.
Oh, well, he is. He's basically the older Mexican in every movie ever.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah. Anyway, I just worked with him on
Yeah.
Soldado, so I was gonna like, he's a fucking super cool guy. Like, he's that guy who I saw him and I immediately was like, I know you. I don't know your name, but I know you in every movie ever. I didn't know you were a stunt
Oh,
guy.
yeah, totally.
And he's got
Yeah.
like, if you look at his IMDb, he's got like 140 acting credits and
Damn,
God.
that's almost as much as Tate.
yeah, so he's that guy. He's like, tons of acting, tons of stunts. I didn't actually know he was a stunt guy. I thought he was an actor, but he's both. But yeah, but if you watch the movie Sicario, there's a scene where the Benicio is hiding in the back of a Mercedes,
And
and he pulls up to the main bad guy's house, and the security guard comes up, says a couple lines in Spanish, and then dies. And I'm that security guard.
look at you.
So fancy.
Yeah. It, however, is not my voice. They
Oh, yeah.
dubbed over.
That's right.
That's awesome.
What's the craziest thing you've ever had to do, like stunt wise?
Well, I'm still very much like the lowest guy on the totem pole in
Right.
the local stunt scene. So I haven't got to do anything like super crazy, like high falls or burns or anything like that. I mostly fight and fall down. I know, shocking, I get called in to fight. But I don't know, like I was doubling this actor on the movie, and I had to drive this big box truck, like a big U-Haul truck, right at the camera, and then get shot and die. And so I'm acting while being dead, while still driving the truck, but making it look like I'm not driving it, and making sure I don't run over the camera and the camera crew and the extras, and
That sounds
all that stuff.
dangerous.
That was pretty.
I mean, that
my
sounds
heart was
dangerous
racing.
for everyone around.
That sounds dangerous, and like it took a lot of skill. That's nothing to be like, oh yeah, that's some serious shit.
Well, beforehand, the stunt coordinator like kept saying, he's like, "So you got this? Like you got this?" I'm like, I thought I did. Now I'm questioning. Like, no, yeah, I got it. He's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes."
No pressure, but you know we're all gonna die if you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone
And then,
around
so,
you dies.
Yeah. So like, and also, so it's like I'm getting shot, like machine gun fire coming in through the windshield at me, right? So the way they do it is there's this little cannon right next to my head shooting projectiles out the windshield. And then there's one pointed right behind my head with a little blood packet, and that's me getting shot in the head.
That's kind of awesome.
I was just kind of looking around. I was like, well, this isn't like a prop windshield. This is all like a legit truck, and I don't see an extra one around.
Oh.
So really, I've got one take to do it.
Yeah.
Like I don't get a second try.
No pressure.
And so like we do the scene, and the first AD comes up to me, and as soon as she gets to the door, I'm like, "How was it? Was it good? We do it?" And she goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. How was it? And she goes, no, it's great. We got it. I'm like, okay, good. She goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Good. So it looks good. We're good? Okay, just checking.
Nice.
Yeah.
Call you one
Also, like,
one take
earlier
Harris.
One take Harris.
What's
One take Harris.
Yeah, that's what they call me. Earlier that night, like we're doing like a different angle of that scene, like before me dying and getting shot and all that stuff. And so there's a part like where I drive, and then all these extras come up dressed as sweat guys behind the truck and start to arrest the group of guys and stuff. So we do like fucking 10 takes of me driving past, and then they run past me, right? And then on like the 11th take or something, they yell action, I start to drive, and all of these these extras run in front of the truck. And so I stop, naturally, and then I hear on the radio, like, "Truck, go, fucking go." And so I drive, and, they yell cut, I reverse back. And the director of that movie was like a very no-nonsense kind of guy. Like, I heard him yell a couple times, like, "If you're standing around talking, get the fuck off my set.
Whoa.
We're wasting fucking nighttime."
Whoa.
It's like, we're wasting hours, like that kind of guy. I'm like, which I can respect to a point, it's like, he's
you have
about
a lot
his
of
shit,
money.
he's getting stuff done,
Yeah.
But like that, I heard that all night. And so as we get back to our ones, I hear the director yell, "Why the fuck did the truck stop?" And then the first AD say, "Because all the extras ran in front of him." I was like, oh shit. And so I'm in the truck, and I see the director himself walking up to me.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, fuck. This isn't going to be good. And he gets up to the window. He goes, "Hey, Nate, I just want to say that I see you taking care of the extras, and I really appreciate that. And I just want to say thank you."
So thank you for not running them over.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah, of course. And, yeah, of course. And,
Thanks for not killing them.
I don't think me running over a bunch of extras is good for any of our careers, especially not theirs.
Especially not theirs.
That's awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
God. You just thank you for taking care
Hey,
of
thanks for not killing anybody on set. You just saved our insurance,
Yeah.
Yeah, that might ruin film in New Mexico.
right?
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that was a fun one.
All right. So what's coming up for jiu-jitsu? And if you want to tell us about your next stunt project, where can people find you and follow you and support you and all that kind of fun stuff?
Next jiu-jitsu stuff, I will be in Austin, Texas, teaching for a week.
That's fucking rad.
Between Christmas and New Year's.
Awesome.
Yeah, fucking stoked. Curtis hit me up yesterday and was like, hey, when are you going to get here? And I was like, I get there on the 29th. And he's like, well, I need somebody to cover my classes that week. And one of my students suggested you. Like, can you get here early? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Damn,
for sure.
You got requested and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then, let's see, after that, I will be doing the EBI trials January 22nd. So you guys will get to see me in person. I'm sorry.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo.
That's all I've got planned for jiu-jitsu at the moment. Movie work comes day by day. Whenever I get called. I've got a pretty dope audition tomorrow that I can't really tell you about. And dope, I mean like really cool and funny. I think it's really funny. It's for a super like low budget thing, but I've got one word and I don't think I can even say it on this.
All right, we'll break a leg.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah, like so there's that.
Where can people find you?
Yeah.
People can find me. I'm Nasty Nate Harris on everything. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
Probably Facebook.
If you follow me on Snapchat, you have to be comfortable with me being naked and also doing funny things.
By naked, he means without a shirt.
Okay, I was going to say, like, how much nudity
he means
are we
shirtless,
talking?
that's all. Calm down with the nakedness.
Well, because that could get you a lot of followers, I mean, depending on how much nudity you're talking about.
That's true.
However much they want, depending on who it is.
Nasty Nate Harris, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Beckford?
I have some shout-outs. I have a bunch of them today.
You should do them.
Can I shout-outs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go. You go.
Okay. I need to shout out Nuwaza Apparel, number one. My
What
sponsor.
up, Nuwaza?
They are pretty fantastic.
Nuwaza.
Those new Illuminati things, have you seen them?
Also, Original Nutritionals. Fish oil, protein powders, run by my buddy Logan Gelbrick out there in Venice. From Deuce Gym. So if you're in LA and you need a place to work out, Deuce Gym in Venice. Original Nutritionals fish oil, best fish oil on the market. It's a liquid form, no pills, which means no fish burps.
That's
really,
good.
Yeah, really high quality stuff. And then, of course, last but not least, Caveman Coffee. Best coffee on the planet. MCT oil, apparel. Those are my sponsors. You can find them at Caveman Coffee Co., at Nuwaza Apparel, and at O Nutritionals.
I know you can't see it, but Becky's totally wearing a Caveman
Thank
Coffee beanie right now.
I am.
I just assumed she was.
Why would you just assume she was?
Because you've had it on every day for a week.
I have. It's true.
Oh, because you've been sick and it makes your head warm and cozy?
It's just cold, and so now that it's cold, I'm wearing this thing.
It is 60 degrees.
And it's shut up.
That's
I like
cold.
the way this beanie fits. I don't like those tight. This is awesome beanie. Go get one.
Hey.
Caveman Coffee.
Caveman Coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Bex, do your shout outs, lady.
Jeez, stop yelling at me. He took over with the shout outs over here. What am I supposed to do?
I think you're Jewish now.
What?
That sounded very Jewish.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Donna was the Jewish one
He
here
took over
now.
with the shout-outs.
I think I might be. So everybody knows what we're talking about. One of my cousins did her DNA, and she was like, hey, we're Jewish. We're like 35% Jewish.
That's a big chunk of Jewish. Just saying.
And it's one of my Mexican
big chunk
cousins.
Of Jewish.
So I gotta go.
Actually, the name of my metal band in high school.
Big chunk of Jewish.
So now I gotta go find out.
Big chunk of Jewish. Also,
we call Lee the big hunk of Jewish.
So good. That needs to be a shirt.
It's also my description on J-Swipe.
Jesus Christ.
Big chunk of Jewish. Don't tell them that I'm not actually Jewish, please.
You should do a DNA test. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I might be. I
do
need
a
to go
DNA
do that.
test.
It's only like $99,
Right.
Oh, only. No,
all right.
Nothing at all. Is it my
Beckford,
turn?
get to it.
Are you going to let me talk now?
Yeah.
All right.
Beckingham.
I am a palace. I thought it was funny. All right, so shout outs. Avi Cone, who just got a blue belt.
Yay! What up, homie?
One of my favorite girls, Micah Miller, who we just talked about earlier, who just got her purple belt.
Yay! Welcome to the Purple Squad. Yeah.
So happy for her. And then our good friend Curtis Hembroff, who just got his black belt.
Hell yeah.
I mean, shit.
Well deserved. Congratulations, all of you.
Yeah.
Fucking beast. And then I also want to give a special shout out to Steven Martinez. Him and his wife just welcomed baby Luna to the world last week.
Welcome to the world,
And she's
Luna.
as you put it, she's adorabubbles.
Aw.
So go see my tagged pictures on Instagram.
Go tag him. Go look at him.
He tags me in all of them.
Nice.
She's so cute.
Do we have a sponsor?
We do have a sponsor, Next Gen Therapeutics. Use the promo code MTP10 and get 10% off your purchase. You can find them at the $5tapeclub.com, and that is the number 5 and then spelled out $tapeclub.com. And they have some awesome ice packs that also double as heating pads.
Yeah.
Go check those out, please.
Awesome sauce.
Paradox.
What was that?
That sounds like a paradox.
It's
A fantastic paradox.
Yeah, but
How's
one
it
that can
both
help
an
you
ice pack
heal.
and a heat
Because you can throw it in the freezer or you can throw it in the microwave.
It's true.
Sounds like witchcraft.
It is
Yeah,
sorcery.
we're witches. What are you gonna
Sorcery.
do? Yeah. It's like jujitsu. It's like jujitsu. It's witchcraft. What are you gonna do?
It's witchcraft.
All right. Awesome sauce. Hey, Nate, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. You actually jumped on super last minute for us, and we totally appreciate it, and we love you.
Hey, my pleasure. I love you guys too.
Oh,
Thanks for
heart.
having me on.
We'll see you next month. Maybe we can go get tacos.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Tacos.
Stupid question.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Definitely.
Good times.
Thanks, Nate.
Lee,
Yes.
Thanks, Nate.
if everybody at home wants to start a podcast and need some consulting, what should they do?
They should go to leesyadconsulting.com. LEESYATT consulting.com.
Yeah. Beckford.
Beckford. Is
Beckingham.
apparently my new name now.
That's
you
a good
can,
Beckford
one.
Rodriguez.
you can go to beckydominguez.com and find all of my things, but you could also, I am uniform just like Nate, and use at Becks and Violence on any social media that I am on.
Yeah.
Which
Is your Snapchat mostly naked pictures too?
You could probably get a lot of followers
Oh,
if
yeah.
there were.
She get all the followers.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know. Sure,
Go
why not?
find out.
Sure, go yeah,
find out.
exactly. Go add me and find out. You might be very disappointed though.
But you might see a caveman coffee beanie.
Hey, that's just as good.
Yeah, right?
She's naked under the caveman
Boobies
costume.
beanie. Boobies
That
beanie.
sounded that came out way worse than I intended.
Boobies
it to.
and beanies.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm Donna. You can go to
How about you, Donna?
DonnaGonzalez.com. There you will be able to find stuff about 10th Planet Women's Self-Defense. You can also go to MattTherapyLife.com and see all this other stuff that we're up to. And someday we're going to have clothing. And I don't know when, but soon, hopefully. Otherwise, we love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Peace out, bitches.
Yep. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Whoa.
Hey, Donna.